Okay. Welcome back, guys. Victor, Mark, etc.
Quentin's back
How
there.
y'all doing? Quentin's behind the camera. He'll be here, soon. You guys are gonna get your little things. He wants to do his little movie reviews. He needs his props. He really wants to do it this week. We just don't have the time. It's fine. But this week we're gonna talk to y'all about something. What is it? I was about to say it's June, but it's not. It just became May.
That's that high school days.
Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. But yeah, it's like almost for us, for college students, it's the end of the school year. Soon it'll be the end of the school year for a lot of high school kids. So we just
can't wait till college.
So yeah, we're gonna let you know exactly why you shouldn't be saying that and why you should be saying that, because there's some
all those tweets. I hope college is 10 times better than high school.
Oh yeah.
Boy, do you have a wake up call.
So wake up one morning and shit.
I mean, it definitely is. I'm not gonna lie. It is better, but it's a lot more stress also.
A lot more freedom, but I feel like because of the freedom,
there's a lot more stress that comes with that freedom.
Because like sometimes people don't know how to manage shit. Unlike when it was high school, since your time was so held up with a lot of things, it was easier to just be like, all right, school, work, and then chill time, sleep. But now it's like, since you can schedule your own times, it's like, oh, I can do schoolwork for this time, chill, have some do some other thing, go to work, or it's just a lot of more free time means you have a lot of space to fill. So I feel like people don't know how to actually organize that as well. So that's why it's kind of stressful sometimes for people. And also it's just sometimes, you're not at people who live on campus, there's like, boom, don't have no parents to watch over them, so it's like do whatever you want now.
So that's kind of a good thing that I was gonna say is we each of us have a perspective of we're both in college, but I'm on campus, he's off campus. Quinn, he decided he didn't want to do school, so you guys are gonna be able to get this week we're gonna do college. The next time or next video or whenever we post it, you guys are gonna get that other perspective. If somebody else who don't want to take that route of college, we just want to do that because I feel like a lot of people have questions. Even though a lot of people make these videos, it's it helps out, it clears up the air. And if y'all have any questions, we can also add them on or do whatever to it. But yeah, so alright, so Mark, summarize your year at college, not like the experience. How did you what did you think going in, and then what do you realize now?
It's weird because it's kind of the same. I don't know. High school was it was good, but at the same time, I just didn't like having to I really can't put this in words. Let's just say that I love the free time that I was able to have now, because it was once you get older, it's like you see nowadays on social media where it's yo, all those naps your little self missed and now how many naps you're taking now. It's that's just how I feel, because when you get older in high school, right there at the end, it's yo, you get so tired of everything. And now going to college and everything, it's I have a lot of free time, a lot of time to just relax and stuff like that. So I feel that's how somewhat it was. But there was always point in times where it was I realized I had to be on my shit constantly. And not to mention too, I also do work. So it was having to do schoolwork and then go to work and then come back, and then it was pretty stressful, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fun too. College is a whole new place, that's why. And I think whenever you go to a whole new place that you don't know of, it's very exciting at first. Of course, me being a commuter, you don't get to experience as much stuff as people who live on campus. I'm gonna just say that from the start. People, when you go to the orientations, they're gonna make it seem like people who commute and people that are living on campus are literally equal. It's not true. It's literally not, because you're not gonna be on campus all the time. You're gonna be at home and you're gonna be doing different things. You're not gonna be in the mix with everything that's happening on campus. They try to tell you, oh yeah, you can come back, but I'm okay, but do you have gas money to come back from school every 2 seconds to do this little celebration or event that's happening? It's not gonna always happen. But again, it's still fun regardless, because it's college, and college is fun, but you just gotta make sure to just stay on top of your stuff and just learn to take opportunities and different things. Don't overwhelm yourself with too much stuff though, because there is a point in time where you're gonna need the time to do work, and you're gonna be upset that you didn't have the free time to do it because you overfilled your schedule.
True. Yeah. The only way you could really be a part of it is if you join something.
Yeah.
and that's pretty much your only chance of like doing anything or like having an excuse to stay on campus. Other than that, you're just gonna want to go home.
Yeah, and then
it's more of like a high school experience when you just go to class and go home. Like
that's what I was saying too. Yeah, but then it's another thing too. Like I'm gonna say this right now. Like if you want to go and like do a lot of stuff at like on campus and do like if you're a commuter or if you're on campus, like if you want to do a lot of stuff with the school, I would advise to just say don't get a job that's outside of your school.
Yeah, you can always work for the school. They have stuff, and especially it's probably better off with your schedule.
That's what I'm saying, because they do work with your schedule and it's right there at your school. But if you try to do a lot of stuff with the school, I'm just gonna say right now you're not gonna have any time to do that because it's really not gonna be helpful at all. You're gonna be moving left and right, and you're gonna be tired like every day.
Is there any like regret you could say like you should have did different your first year?
I was gonna say, I feel like what y'all said, getting a job on campus, if you're living on campus, is better. If you try to get a job outside of campus, I feel like they don't consider you're a college student and you have like...
You're an employee.
Yeah, they just feel like they want to give you like 8-hour shifts and you're like, yo, I got school. Like, I need like at least probably like
I have another life.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
They definitely...
Like, yeah, Vic had worked like 35 hours a week.
Yeah, like first semester, and that's when I just took this spring semester off because it was just like, yeah, the money was awesome, but like,
oh boy, I was unbelievable.
now he's feeling it now because he's working at the same place.
Come on in now, Mr. Krabs.
But yeah, the money is definitely great, but it's just like you feel to a point where like you don't have a personal life, and then it's like everything you do is work at that point because my job was nowhere near campus, so it was just like. Most of my thing was waking up, having my schedule last semester, my first semester was all early classes. Like my latest was like 2 o'clock. After that, I have to clock into my job at 3, and I'd be there till closing, which was 9, and then I have to clean up the shop till like 10. And then holidays, it was the same thing, but we were there. It closed at 11. I had to stay there till like midnight to then go home and do my regular schoolwork, fall asleep, wake up, and do it again all day. To then possibly working on Saturdays and Sundays, where I would be there till 8. So you feel like
no bueno for me.
on top of coordinating with these guys to do the podcast and editing and outside homework that comes with that.
I don't know how this guy's alive right now, to be honest. Like, it's hurting my head thinking about that. Like,
and then on top of that,
I can just picture myself, like, just getting back now from work, how I'd be super tired, yo. Oh man, it is ridiculous. That's
especially working like retail.
To deal with that.
Like,
BS all day and then
retail's the most tiring job. I don't care what anyone says. It's the most tiring job, hands down.
And then on top, other than like manual labor and the construction.
Yeah, that's what I was consider like.
But
something would have dropped at that point.
Yeah.
Also,
which ended up being the job. So
that's what I'm saying. But no, that's the exact same thing too. Because since I had my girlfriend, it was like I had to. Now it's like doing the same thing, and it's tiring. I just want to say that.
And that's
like,
why
people don't understand sometimes how like when you're just someone who does stuff. Well, I don't know how to explain this.
Don't put too much on your plate, especially when you're having a new experience that is college.
Yeah.
So you're still adjusting because it's a whole different thing. Like college, it's a great thing and a bad thing where no one gives a fuck about you, which is great. But it also sucks because no one gives a fuck about you because nobody's gonna check up on you.
Yeah, it's like no.
So like you have to worry about yourself. You have to be. You have to become an adult. Teachers are gonna treat you like equals, or adults are like treat you with respect. Where you're in high school, they were always talking down at you instead of talking to you as like they were talking to you as a kid. Now it's like you're an adult. You're paying for your education. We're not gonna disrespect you. Like we're gonna do our job.
I low-key think teachers don't care about you.
They don't.
I really
because you're an adult now.
Yeah. I really strongly agree that they do not care.
Because they're gonna treat you like an adult. They're gonna be like, what? If you want to come to class,
no, it's to the point. It's to the point where I feel like it's not treating you like an adult. It's just treating you with like some type of like human respect. Like that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, definitely. My one regret is because of like doing that, of like working so much. It's like I didn't get involved that much, so it's just like I don't know. Like where I go to school and my like the business school that I'm in, they ask a lot out of you. Like you have to do extracurricular stuff to like develop yourself as like an employee or like market yourself, and they really demand you. Like you have to do it. If not, like you can't pick your classes and all this stuff. So like I was catching up on all that stuff now when I wasn't working. This semester I'm catching up with all that stuff, so like I didn't get involved. I didn't join like certain clubs that you're supposed to join, and now I'm kind of picking up with that now. But that's my one regret of like wearing myself out with other stuff when I could just be like spending it in my school, because I'm in school like that's where I'm here to like. This is for later. It's an investment for later. So I'm supposed to be ready now and like invest in this now, not be having a full-time job on top of this. Like this is my job technically. I'm a student, but yeah. And then
some people won't agree with that though.
Yeah, you have to like.
Parents.
I mean, but my
Well,
thing
at least
is,
mine.
but at least like at the same time, it's just like I understand working, but it's like again we do have a lot of our on our plate.
I just feel like this is me. I feel like if you live on campus, you're not responsible to get a job at all. Like it's perfectly fine. But I swear, if you live home and you commute, best believe at least like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Your parents will tell you for you to actually get a job.
I know you guys are talking a lot about be ready for college and all that, but like, how about we just give them something like fun?
I mean, yeah.
Like,
we'll
so
get to that.
what's the fun? It's like,
But,
I'm not trying to
I was gonna add one more thing.
Yes, man. He got stuff on.
I was gonna add one more thing. I forgot. Not wearing yourself out. Yeah, you're a student, and like for me, like my whole thing was like I worked fall semester, and I didn't spend my bread at all, so I could just basically chill this semester. And like my whole thing now is like I'm gonna work throughout the summer, so I can be good for the fall. Like I'm not gonna spend my money. I'm gonna just do it instead of like, so I could take care of my school, take care of my GPA and all that stuff.
the way Victor did this shit, I feel like a lot of kids should learn from him.
What?
A lot of kids should learn from Victor from like preschool, because Vic had his whole life chill. Like, I
Not
don't know.
chill. I mean, like I made it that way.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, learn from you, like your ways, how you did stuff.
Yeah.
Vic's like really responsible. I feel like Vic was responsible before college even came about. Like, it was just like
Not to
his
be
way.
cocky, but like yeah, I was on top of my shit always.
Yeah.
Like I never had my parents like on my ass. Yeah, I mean yeah. So expect to like just basically you are an adult. You're taking care of your own stuff. Be on first thing. All right, so I'm gonna switch to the fun stuff. I just want to say word of advice to anybody. Pros, obviously, it's like for the future and all that stuff. Like it's important. But if you can't afford it, don't do it. Don't force yourself because that is for real. Me, I'm lucky enough where I don't have to worry about that. But there's other, and I'll be struggling to give people advice because like I'm in a different situation than most people where they have loans, and I'm lucky enough to not have that. So I'll be feeling weird to tell people what to do. But like just realize what you can afford before you go to school. Also be on top of your shit and like at the beginning overwork so you know where you're going, like what exactly is necessary moving forward. Like that first test, you don't know what you're getting into. So if you like work extra hard and then you just do really good, and you're just like, all right, this class is cake. I don't really need to do that much. This class is hard. I need to do more for that. That's something that I did that I thought worked well. But into the fun stuff, you have anything? But for me, I'm lucky enough to stay on campus. And
You can't ask a commuter about fun stuff. I'm just saying that. I mean, you
We're there with the bros.
I mean, there's not really a lot.
Good,
The only
but-
con I really say is like the debt, but like at the end it helps you out a little bit. It's also depending on your major. So like there's some things you don't have to go to school for. Like nobody's gonna teach you how to paint. Like don't go to school for that. Like I mean at the end of the day, do what makes you happy, but if you're gonna go out in debt, you better have something that's gonna pay that off.
I feel like it's a lot of the like how to say it. I don't even know how to say it. More
Creative.
Yeah, the creative. There you go. It's more the creative
The
majors.
majors
You
that,
really
like-
don't need to go to school for it. I would
Like
say.
nobody's gonna teach you how to be creative, so like avoid that. And also, I mean, there are some people who like, say a teacher. Teachers don't pay well, but that's something that they want to do, and it speaks to them. And like, obviously, they're struggling to pay that debt off. But if that's what they love to do, then 100% do it. Like, do what makes you happy. Do what you want, especially if not going to school. Like, if it's not for you, don't do it because you're wasting your money. There's people who like go a year, 2 year, or semester, and then they have to still pay that whatever they went for. They have to pay for that, and then they don't have the money because they're fresh out of high school with nothing, not a good paying job. So it's stupid. But yeah, the fun part. Y'all already know, like, y'all hear about the shit y'all hear about college is for real. Like, if there's like parties like constantly and it's a lot of fun. And
Quick question: whatever happened to do for state?
what do you mean?
Are they still around? Did I just not follow them?
Yeah, they're still thinking. It's just they gotta take it down a lot. But yeah, do it for state. A lot of stuff is legit. And I got hit with that hard. Like even you guys were around for that when we went to see the Mayweather fight with McGregor.
Yeah.
And we were in our friend's room. We just kind of got that first glance of like, yeah.
Everything was happening so
Yeah.
fast.
There's so
Yeah,
much.
and then for like the
man.
guys out there and for the girls, it's like everybody's like 20, everybody's good looking because everybody's young and like at their peak look. Like everybody's partying.
Well,
everybody-
speak for yourself, buddy.
Everybody. I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but like everybody's like young and like looking. I'm talking about myself too because I'm like skinny. I'm not perfect, but
I wish. How are those guys dumb husky and just like like the nice perfect steak you want to pick out.
But yeah, like it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of partying, a lot of music, you meet a lot of people, especially living in a dorm. I feel like one thing that you gotta get used to in college, I don't know if it's just my school or like with yours, I don't know if you agree with it, but when you're in a classroom, like unless you're like there before class or after class, or you really get a chance to talk to them, you're not gonna have a chance to talk or like communicate with people in your classes, because everybody just like go to class and then everybody just don't want to be there, so they just dip. You don't really get to build friendship the way in high school, where most of the time you have same classes together, you run into each other a lot, or you're in like tiny lunchrooms where you get to talk to people, make friendships. Like unless you force or like it's like, oh, you want to study after class or something, that's not happening. Like you guys are good. If you don't say anything or like do anything out in the classroom, you're not gonna make friends. Like you have to be outside where you're like you want to hang out sometime or something. So yeah.
So Mark has no friends in college.
So that's
what we just did.
So yeah, so definitely like if you're
It's like,
but
I got
I
like one or two.
but if you're in a dorm, it's kind of different because you live. It's like living in an apartment building or something where you're like you have neighbors and you're like you do stuff together. You're like, oh, you going out? Yeah, cool. We all go in a group and you just start to build. Or like we had a party. It's just kind of like, oh, everybody's drinking, so like everybody's messed up and everybody's friendly. So just like, hi,
Bullshit.
what's your name? And you're just like, what?
I had my ass getting finger popped.
That was probably somebody we know. That was our friend. But yeah, everybody's friendly and just like everybody's trying to have fun. Except for like the one dude was just an asshole. We got you. But yeah, so definitely, I'm just trying to think. Anything else? There's not really any cons. Like I'm just gonna help you like in the future, and then. All right, so I guess I'm gonna close out with this. Like obviously, you guys know what the fun parts are. You guys know what to expect as an adult.
I got one.
Go ahead.
Food trucks. Explore them.
Oh yeah, especially at Temple, they got like an army of them around my way.
Yeah,
But yeah,
explore them.
yeah.
That's
all
what
right.
you're close to.
Okay, so I'm gonna say one thing that's definitely for sure. Cause, all right, for me, like I was saying, I don't have to pay the money that I have to pay for school as much as most do. So like it's kind of different for me to make my decisions. But if I was not in the position right now that I was in, unless I really want to go to, like I do enjoy being in school, and that's what I want to do. Cause I've always, for y'all who know me, like I've always been on my school shit. Like that's always been something where like, obviously I'm not like I don't like doing a bunch of homework and studying, but like I've always been responsible with my shit. So I wanted to continue my education. And for me, I'm looking at where I don't have to pay that extra money, where some people are going in debt where they're gonna have to pay it off till like they're 40. So be smart on whether or not you want to go to school now. Like this is dead serious. Like at the end of the day, it's gonna be kind of hard to say, but like F your guardian's opinions. Like you're the one who's paying it. Unless they are paying it themselves, then alright, they have a say in it. But if it's all like you're taking out that loan and you're responsible for paying it, you decide if you want to go into that debt or not. Like don't do it unless you truly want it. Then do it for something that you want to do, and make a smart decision of like if it's something that you also love doing, and think about, can I still achieve this without going into that debt? At the end of the day, is if you're paying for it, if you're taking out that risk, disregard other people's opinions. Obviously take their advice if they're trying to like lead you in the right direction, but at the end of the day, make your decision based off of what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Don't become a doctor because it pays well, because you're gonna be fucking miserable if you don't like that shit. Right. Like if I was really in school for the money, I'll like, all right, I'm gonna be an engineer or surgeon and be in school for like 8 years and then just be miserable because I don't like that job. Like
I wouldn't be friends with him.
Why?
Because you're not being yourself. So
yeah,
I'm
like do what you consider because if you're going into that debt, like pick something that you want to do, that you love, that you would do for free, what you do on a daily, and then also make sure that you'll be able to pay that money back at a decent time. If you have to take out those loans and you're not lucky enough to have a scholarship or something. So yeah, definitely take that into consideration. Also think about like, can you do it without a degree or not? And like, is it gonna be a job that like when you leave, you're gonna be able to get a job in that field once you get out? Because a lot of jobs now, because of technology, they're leaving. Where like you don't need these certain degrees because other people are gonna be doing it for you in a couple years. Yeah, and you hear a lot of people say that like this degree is worthless now because of certain things. So definitely take that into consideration. Yeah, I feel like I said a lot there, but again, like that goes for anything. Like don't be scared to not like. There are people who've not gone to school and been okay, and there are people who are in school who are not doing okay because they're not okay because they went to school and their degree didn't. They don't have anything. You'd be better off going like working your ass off, and you won't be making as much, but you won't have money owed, so it's just money to go straight towards you, and you can save that for your kids or whatever. Like be smart about it. Don't be a bum. That's one thing I do have a problem with. Don't be a bum. Like, if like I know today, if I was not in school, I would be straight on my grind, like something crazy. Like I know I would have a plan of like either trade school or just something. I would just be like straight grinding my ass off, knowing if I wouldn't be having that extra income of being in school or like helping yourself grow. Even if you don't go to school and you want to do like do art or whatever, like you'll be so much happier doing that than doing something that pays well. Like I know this one girl where her parents are paying for her school, so she's kind of in a tougher situation where she's an artist, she wants to do a tattoo shop. So she's in the business school because she wants to do that, but like at the same time she doesn't want to be in that business school because she wants to be in art because of the whole tattoo thing. So her parents are kind of like no, like they're not letting her because they're paying for everything. So she's kind of stuck where she wants to respect their opinion because they're paying, but she wants to do what she wants to do. That's kind of a different situation. Everybody's situation is different, but just for your situation, do what's best for you and your future. Where can they find you, Mark?
You can find me on Instagram, Marky Mark, Twitter, the same thing. Victor, where can they find you?
Find me on Instagram and Twitter, Victor_. Etc. Stuff is real. Etc. on Instagram and Twitter. The email is real.etc@gmail.com. Again, if y'all have any extra questions, like please, like we can do it in a second video, or just answer it directly. Yeah, we just want to like help y'all. And we could do more of these if you guys want, because like there's a lot of stuff that people don't talk about. One thing about being on campus by yourself is you get a lot of time to like think to yourself, so you get to reconsider what, like, I know it sounds kind of like stupid when people say it, but you get a lot of time to think of like who you are, or like what you like, or what do you want to do. And when you're by yourself, you get a lot of time to think about that stuff, especially like more experiences are working. You just realize like, yo, I hate this, but I really like this. Like you get to realize you get to find yourself. Anyway, I'm dragging on too much. Time to wrap it up. We love you guys. See you next week. Bye.